Hey there, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be doing some more side dish recipes. I feel like side dish recipes can be such a pain in the butt sometimes. You don't always want to make a simple mac and cheese along with your dinner or just a vegetable, so I wanted to share some more ideas with you that can kind of mix it up a little bit and make dinner a little bit more interesting. So let's go ahead and get started with these recipes. First up today, we're gonna make this ranch pasta salad. This is so good. I love making this. Usually I make it and just keep it in the fridge and eat it for lunches. But to get started, I am just cutting up a little bit of red onion. You don't need a lot. This is probably only 1/8 of my red onion. I'm also chopping up about 1 cup of fresh broccoli into very fine pieces, and then also 1 medium-sized cucumber. Into this nice big bowl, I'm adding in 8 ounces of sour cream along with about 1/2 cup of mayonnaise and 1 packet of ranch seasoning mix. This is optional, you don't really need to do this, but I love adding a little bit of dill into ranch recipes. I really just like the flavor of dill, so I added about 1/4 teaspoon of that and got that all combined. Now that that's all mixed together, add in your red onion, broccoli, and your cucumber. Get this all combined really well and then just set it aside. I did go ahead and start a pot of water and I boiled up about 12 ounces of rotini noodles. Any type of noodle will do though, you don't have to use rotini. Once the pasta was cooked, I did go ahead and drain that and run some cold water over it. Added it into my bowl and refrigerated for about an hour, and then it is ready to go. This is what it looks like when it is all done. It doesn't look very colorful, but if you're a ranch lover, this is so good, and I am sure a ranch lover. I love this stuff. Now we're going to make this homemade broccoli cheese rice. I just started by chopping up 1 very small onion into pretty fine pieces, and then I had 1 small head of broccoli. I went ahead and cut that up as well. You can cut this up as small as you want. I like them to still be in bite-sized pieces and not just completely broken up. I do trim off most of the stems and just try to leave the tops of the broccoli until I have about 1.5 cups of broccoli. Over into this skillet, I did heat up about 1 tablespoon of olive oil and then added my onion in there to cook for about 5 minutes until it was nice and tender. At that point, I added in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic and let that go for about another minute or so. Next, you'll want to add in 2 cups of chicken broth. I am using a low sodium chicken broth, and I'm just going to take my spoon and kind of scrape the bottom of my pan to make sure nothing is sticking and pick up any flavor those onions left behind. After letting that come to a boil, I'm now going to add in 1 cup of jasmine rice. I added a lid onto my pan, let this cook for about 10 minutes or so, and then this is what your rice should look like when it is all done. Most of the liquid should be gone at this point, and your rice should be cooked. Now I'm adding in 1/4 cup of half and half, or you can just use milk, 2 tablespoons of butter, and then just a couple shakes of salt and pepper. You can always add more salt and pepper later on. Then you'll also add that broccoli in there. Give that a really good stir together. Add your lid on there and let this cook for another 10 minutes or so until your broccoli is fork tender. If you want your broccoli to be even softer, you can add the broccoli when the rice is cooking, but I wanted mine to still have a little bit of firmness to it, so that's why I did wait to add that in. And now finally, to finish this off, you can go ahead and add some shredded mild cheddar cheese. I added in about a cup, but you can add in as much as you want. Make it as cheesy as you want it to be. But this is what it looked like on my plate when it was all done. Broccoli is probably my favorite vegetable. I love broccoli so much. My husband is not a big fan. If you've been around here for a while, you'll know he hates broccoli and most vegetables. So he didn't eat this night, but I had plenty of it for leftovers. And this night we had it with some grilled chicken and it just really hit the spot. And now we're gonna make these garlic and cheese breadsticks. If you're anything like me, then you love getting the garlic and cheesy bread type of stuff from pizza places. And that's exactly what this is. So to begin, I am just going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees. Into my mixing bowl, I'm adding in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 package of dry active yeast, and then 1 teaspoon of sugar. And before we do anything else, I'm just taking a whisk and kind of mixing that together a little bit. Now I'm adding in 3/4 of a cup of warm water. I did temp this water. It was about 107 degrees. You just want to keep that temperature of the water around 105 to 110 degrees. I turned my mixer on a low setting and let this go for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I added in 1 teaspoon of salt and let this continue for another 2 to 3 minutes until it looked like this. It should not be sticky. If it is sticky, then add just a touch more flour and let it go a little bit longer till the flour is mixed in, but you don't want this to be super sticky. I roll that up into a ball. I place it into a greased bowl and let this sit on my counter for 1 hour. Once it has doubled in size, I am just going to add that onto my countertop. It should be light, fluffy, and a little stretchy at this point. And now I'm just going to roll this out. And right here where I paused the video, that's about the size you want for this dough to be when you roll it out. I'm not gonna lie, I was jamming to some Christmas music and kind of forgot what I was doing, and I ended up rolling this out to be like a large pizza. And once I had it rolled out, I was just like, oh well, I'm just gonna go with it. So that's why it's so big right here, but really you don't need it to be quite this large. I added this over to my greased pizza pan, and I just made sure that was all even all the way across. Now in this little bowl, I have half a stick of butter, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. The 1 teaspoon of garlic powder was plenty for me, but you can also add a little bit more if you want this to be extra garlicky, or you can add some minced garlic in here as well. That's also a great option. I microwaved that for 30 seconds until it was melted, and then I added it right on top of that dough. Now I'm taking this Italian style blend cheese and I am adding the entire bag on here. And even if the dough is smaller, you will still add the entire bag. It's supposed to be very cheesy, that's the whole point. So I spread that around very even, and then over the top of the cheese, I'm gonna sprinkle about a tablespoon of dried parsley over that cheese. That way in the oven it can all kind of melt together. I baked mine for about 12 minutes until it was nice and golden on top just like this, but if you're using a thicker crust like I stopped and showed you earlier, then you'll probably have to go closer to 15 to 17 minutes. You'll just have to keep an eye on it. This is what it'll look like when it is all done. I absolutely love these. These are perfect to serve aside any other type of pizza that you might make, and some salad or just some spaghetti or any other Italian dish these pair beautifully with. You can dip these in marinara, or you can be like me and dip them in ranch dressing. I think ranch is good on everything, so I love it with these as well. Or you could just make these on their own for a lunch or snack for a movie night, anything you want. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to leave me a flower down in the comments below if you watched all the way to the end, and I will see you guys back here on Wednesday with a new video. Bye!